Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne Sharp World, where today I have a fun list to run through with you guys, and it's a list that I think is very interesting, and it happens to be about the most interesting knives I have in my collection. Now, these knives I find interesting for various reasons. They either pulled me more into the company, they're more on the innovative side, they're more on the creative side, but what all these knives have in common is they're all great knives that I would highly recommend you check out in one form or another, whether it be just meeting up with a buddy who has one, picking one up on the secondary market, or picking one up brand new. These are all worth your time in checking out. So with that being said, there's no monetary restrictions, there's no real category. These are just all interesting knives for various reasons. Some of the most interesting, probably the most interesting knives in my collection. So let's get into it, and let's start with the bias. Let's get my personal bias out of the way, and let's talk about these two knives. This is the Artisan Cutlery Fraggle in both versions of it right here, and then of course this knife right here, the Vosteed Thornton. Now, what does Vosteed and Artisan Cutlery have in common? Well, you probably already know this. I design these knives. So, of course, I'm going to find these knives very interesting. It took a lot of time, a lot of thought, consideration, testing, prototyping, sketches. It took so much time for me to land where I did with these designs. The Thornton is my first design, and it's actually been selling really well. There's been a few runs of it. Their first version did not have a top liner lock. This is actually the LC Thornton. Very quick story about this. I named this knife after my grandfather who served in the service, and so the Thornton was the first version of that. Then came the LC Thornton, which happened to be Lieutenant Colonel, which was the highest ranking he achieved before he left the services. So I just thought that was really cool. It was a cool ode to my grandfather, and it is actually a very sweet knife that continues to sell well. It's sold out everywhere, which blows my mind. There is another run coming of this with, I believe, aluminum scales and S35 VN. It's going to have some really cool topographic engraving on the aluminum. That's going to be dropping through White Mountain Knives here in the future. I don't know when, but it's in the works. But I just love this knife. Great ergos, phenomenal action. The top liner lock is still amazing. Oh, and the LC Thornton is left and righty compatible, which the first version of the Thornton was not. So obviously very interesting. It has a great story. And then the Fraggle, oh man, this one actually took a lot more prototyping and reiteration than the Thornton did. I think I got it easy with the Thornton the first time we came out with this. Everything went very smoothly. There was no issues, and before I knew it, this was in production. The Fraggle just took more work because I wanted to get the detent perfect, and I was picky about that. I was probably difficult to work with Artisan, but they were great to work with from my side. They strengthened that detent up, and it's a very nice detent. I give it probably an 8.5 out of 10, which is very good. It's hard to do that with such a big blade. This is a big knife here, 3.75-ish inches in blade length, so it is a beast. Very slicey, nice, wide, great handle, going to be really nice for bigger and mid-sized hands, and even some of my friends with smaller hands still really like it, and I'm continue to hear nothing but good things about this. So if you've picked one up, I've had a lot of people sending me pictures of them in their pockets, and it's hard to describe how cool that feels. So the Fraggle continues to do well, and very different knives too. I don't want to be the kind of person that has a design language. I want all my designs to be unique, and so far, I think I'm off to a good start. I'm really lucky to be able to do that. So the Artisan Cutlery, Fraggle, and the Vosteed Thornton and Thornton LC, clearly some of the most interesting knives in my collection, and we're just getting started. So we're out of the bias now, and now we're going into other companies, other brands, and we're gonna go straight to what I think is the most interesting knives in this group. These are without a doubt the most interesting. From Winter Blade Co. If you have not handled a Winter Blade Co. knife, such as the Empire here, or the Factor 8, you need to check one out. There is no one more innovative and creative and just as good of a guy as Brian Winters at Winter Blade Co. This guy is doing crazy things that no other company is doing. And even since he's been doing it, no one else has tried, at least to the best of my knowledge. He is still kind of blazing his own trail, which is amazing. There's very, very, very few people in the knife industry that can say that. There really is. This lock, what he does, a lot of it ties in magnets, and as you can see, very unique designs, but also very ergonomic friendly designs that are just super fidgety, super good, nice size. This is a big knife. This was my knife of the year for 2024, guys. This thing was an absolute smoke show of a knife, the Factor 8. And the M Fire here, I think, is very underrated. This actually can act like an automatic. I don't think it's considered an automatic because you can make it manual by taking the magnet out. I haven't done that because I actually really like the middle finger flick with the magnet in there. And watch this. You can do it. I figured out how to do it at one point. There you go. You can close it without taking the magnet out, which is awesome because then you can also just pull this down and rocket the blade out. It's an amazing thing. It is super fidgety. And once it's out, guys, it's locked out. Like it is locked. It is super solid. It is just, it's, okay. Okay, we're not going to keep doing that anymore. It's hard to do under the camera, but it is an amazing knife. You got to check one out. Very, very sweet design. Great in the hand. Fidget monster in a very unique way. One of the most unique knives I have in my collection. It is incredible. I love carrying this just to show people and kind of explain it to them because it's one that, again, you saw it kind of look a little limp there when it came out. It kind of did that little flap back and forth. It's locked. It's not closing on me. It's super locked. So this is a long story. There is a lot behind this, as you can see. Perfect centering. These are amazing knives. It's hard to really talk about these knives quickly. There's so much to go over. I would recommend you looking up Winter Blade Co. because he's got new knives in the work. They're usually smaller batches. They're more on the expensive side, but they're worth it. They are so, so worth it. These are two knives here that will never leave my collection, ever, for any reason. I just love them. I love how they carry in the pocket. I love the unique story behind them. I love the fidget factor. I just love everything about them. And not to mention Vanex steel and MagnaCut. Like, it doesn't get any better than that. Brian uses premium materials. I believe it's Best Tech that manufactures these. At least last I knew it was. I don't think he switched manufacturers. So amazing, amazing, innovative things going on at Winter Blade Co. Be sure to check them out. Go to the knife shows, go to the website, go to YouTube, find videos on Winter Blade Co. because they're doing amazing things. Next up here is from a bigger name. This is the Kizer. This is the X Series Silver Wing. And this was the first step into the real high-end type of knives for Kizer. Now, since they've come out with the Silver Wing, they've kind of brought, they've went in a kind of a weird direction with the X Series. I thought the X Series was always going to be like super ultra premium, which we have here. I mean, types of milling and machinery that we have not seen from Kizer knives. But I don't know. I'm kind of confused in the direction they're going with it at this point. But this knife here is extremely unique to Kizer. It's the most high-end, it's the most detailed, intricate piece I've ever handled from them. And it really got me thinking, like, just how far can Kizer go? Incredible action, beautiful blade. Ergos are shockingly phenomenal. I think the sky is the limit for Kizer. They've always been geared more towards that mid-100 to under 100 price range, but I think we're going to see more impressive stuff from Kizer in the future on a more premium standpoint, premium level. With that being said, hold on to your butts for Kizer's November drop. The November drop is phenomenal. Some of the best knives of the year from Kizer are going to be dropping in November. Mark my words. I will have content on all those knives, so be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed and follow along. But yeah, amazing things happening at Kizer. And this X Series Silver Wing here really kind of got me thinking, man, oh man, what are they capable of? Very unique to Kizer, very unique in my collection, a beautiful piece, the Kizer X Series Silver Wing. I do believe the Silver Wings are sold out, but keep your eyes peeled. There's more coming from the X Series and all of the amazing, amazing knives it has to offer from there. Now this one here, this is the Concept Kit Poo. Now some people are saying, why would this be on the list? Well, this is the most refined, modern, sleek take on a folder I have seen from Concept yet. Beautiful design from Jonathan Stiles, very streamlined, modern, kind of a casual, gentlemanly vibe. Great in the hand, not too big and not too small. This is just a really, really cool knife, and it's so different from anything Concept has done before. If I said Kizer once there, my bad. I feel like I might have said Kizer there. I was saying Kizer a lot before Concept, so sometimes it's hard to transfer over the K's to the different knife companies. But Concept's Kit Poo is phenomenal. It really is. It was really, really surprising when I could bust out this little front flip here on it. Amped up the fidget factor, and again, ergo's great, blade is sleek, a lot of detail in this one, a beautiful, perfect pocket clip that's ambidextrous, left or right hand carry, really, really nice, unique inlay work, kind of reminds us some of the Kizer Milita, which is also a Jonathan Stiles design, so you see that design language coming through. Really, really nice piece from Mr. Stiles, and one of the best concepts I have ever handled. If you like smaller, sleek knives, nice, sleek, fidgety flipper tab, you should check out the Concept Kit Poo. It is very unique, it is very interesting, and it is a fantastic little piece. Really do love that knife. You will most likely see it at the end of the year in my Knife of the Year award show. It's gonna take a lot to knock that out, especially in the price bracket. That's a really, really good price knife. Of course, all these knives will be linked below for you guys. Check out the prices and check out the availability of them. This here from Vosteed, this is unique for the lock. This is the Vosteed Anklo, and this, in my opinion, is one of the sweetest locks to come out in a very long time. Right up there with the top liner lock is probably my two favorite locks. This is the Vancore lock, and in here, right in there is the notch that locks it in place. This is one of the strongest locks on the market. I don't know if it's been proven that it's literally the strongest, but maybe it has been. If it has been, I missed it. But this thing is extremely strong, extremely safe, and extremely fidgety, On a scale of 1 to 10, this is like an 11 in terms of fidget factor. It's so, so good. The Anklo, I believe, was the first knife. Yes, it was. It was the first knife to come from Vosteed with the Vancore lock. And I believe the Vancore lock is patented. If I remember right, it is patented for Vosteed, so I don't think you'll be seeing that anywhere else unless there's an agreement for that to be shared with another company. But a beautiful knife. Nice, chunkier, thicker knife, good size, great ergos. You got that choil, you got the nice flowing lines in the handle that feel really good in hand, and you have a beautiful blade here. This here, I believe, is the budget version. Yeah, 154 cm, but you can get these in a little more premium steels. But just a very unique lock. It's always a good story if you meet someone that's kind of into knives, but not really deep into it like a lot of us are. They'll say, hey, what's that lock? I've never seen it. And then it's something, it's a story. It's something you can show them, It's a form of a button lock, but it's like a beefed up vault button lock. It's amazing. If you have not handled or experienced a Vancore lock, I strongly recommend that you do. There's, I think, five or six models now with the Vancore lock. So lots to choose from. Kind of hoping we can get a Thornton with the Vancore lock out there. If you guys would like to see a Thornton with a Vancore lock, let me know. Maybe we can make it happen. But really, really nice stuff here with the Anklo, and another amazing company doing really big things over at Vosteed. Next up here, we have Jack Wolf knife, and it's a very new one. This is the Scuffle, and what makes this knife clearly so unique is it's the first flipper, the first folding regular standard flipper that Jack Wolf Knives has come out with. And what really got me thinking about this is Jack Wolf Knives is just scratching the surface, guys. They're just scratching the surface of what they're capable of. When they came into the industry, they were just slip joints, and they wanted to make the best slip joints. I think they accomplished that. I really do. They've made a phenomenal slip joints. But then they got into front flippers like this guy. Let me reach. I'm reaching. The Gunslinger Jack. They brought the Gunslinger Jack to the market. People flipped out, and this thing was sold out everywhere you couldn't find it. That was kind of like step one of leveling up for Jack Wolf Knives. And then they've come out with this recently, which I don't know if it's sold out everywhere. The couple places I've looked, it's been sold out. Most of the versions are sold out. I will try to find them in stock somewhere. But these are a pretty hot commodity right now, and for a very good reason. This knife, for its size, is rather light. Action is phenomenal. Blade, uber slicey with that amazing hollow grind you get on every Jack Wolf knife. And the design from Niche Knives is just phenomenal. It is kind of gives me some Hinderish vibes, only, as I've said in the review, twice as good as a Hinderer in my opinion. It's sleeker, it's sexier, it's slicier. It's in every way better than a Hinderer. So almost not fair to compare it to that. But it's just a thing of beauty. And this is just the beginning, guys. I sure hope we're going to see more just standard folding knives come from Jack Wolf Knives, because, man, oh man, I think they're just getting started. Super interesting piece. Beautiful design. It is just it's a masterpiece. It is a masterpiece, in my opinion. Without a doubt, one of the best knives of the year, the Jack Wolf Knives Scuffle. And next up here, we've got a big banger from a company that I think a lot of people wrote off, the ZT0203. And what makes this so interesting is that this got me thinking, I think ZT's back. I think ZT is back with this one. They found their mojo with this. This thing is just an absolute beast of a knife, but it has that ZT attitude. It has that strong American-made build. Perfect steel for this knife in CPM M4. It is it's a pocket knife for a warrior, for a soldier. This thing is just incredible. I had no idea it was coming. ZT does a really good job of keeping things under wraps. Some companies nowadays will, they'll show all the pictures, they'll give all the information, they'll try and build the hype before the drop. ZT doesn't come do that. They come in quiet and out of nowhere, and all of a sudden your jaw drops and this thing gets loose. And man, oh man, it's a hoss. It is a hoss. It is an amazing crossbar locking knife. Great crossbar locking studs. Good feel in hand. It is just an absolute unit of a knife. And it's unique because I didn't think we'd see this unique and interesting because I didn't think we'd see something like this from ZT again. I really didn't think we would. But they are back. They are ready. And I cannot wait to see what they come out with next. Really good things with ZT. They are riding quite the wave, as well as Kershaw. Kershaw's doing some awesome stuff too. But this kind of struck some the ZT vibes I felt from 6-7 years ago. It's that good. Absolutely love this one, the ZT0203. And last up, this guy, probably looking really new. You saw this on the channel just recently. This is the Kooby Folklore. And this got me thinking, man, oh man, what is Kooby capable of? Because this is every bit as good as a Wii or a Riot. Kooby can be doing some amazing things, and I think we're going to see more of that from Kooby. We've seen some impressive budget offerings, but then to see them kind of amp up the price, this is a $360 knife. Now it ranges from $280 up to $360. What really makes it more expensive here is the DLC coating on the handle and the belt satin finish. But man, oh man, look at this. Woo-wee. Derek Sharon designed one hell of a knife here. Perfect action. But again, this is all about what Kooby's capable of. This is what I find so interesting because I didn't know they were capable of making an expensive knife this good. I mean, anyone can make a knife and make it expensive, but whether or not it'll sell is one thing. If this does not sell out, if it's not sold out now, I think I'm going to be upset because it is that freaking good. Perfect detent, perfect thumb stud placement, jimping on the front flipper, amazing. All of the internal milling that makes this knife so light. Look at that. This thing it couldn't be any better. It could not be any better. I hope there's more versions of this. I'd love to see an inlay version. I really do like this texturing on the handle, but man, oh man, this knife has a lot of potential. It should keep selling. They should keep making these, and I'm really excited to see what else Kooby brings out on the premium side of things. So obviously there's Kooby Knives that handles the more budget side, and then there's kbknives.com, which handles the premium end of things. It's two separate websites. I just realized recently that not everyone knows that, so now you know. I'll have both of those websites linked below if you want to check them out, but KB Knives is they're really turning heads. Very, very interesting in just how much they're ramping up on the premium side of things over at Kooby. The Folklore is the best example of that you can get in your hand. And that's it, guys. Those are some of the more interesting knives for various reasons in my collection. Let me know what you think. I really hope you enjoyed this list. Hope you enjoyed the knives. Check them out, guys. Check them all out. They are that good. Let me know, what are your most interesting knives in your collection? Really hope you guys enjoyed this one. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And until the next one, I'm out.